Have you ever felt like introvert or extrovert doesn't fully describe you? Not because you're somewhere in the middle, but because you feel like you're living at both extremes? For example, last week, you enthusiastically agreed to attend a get-together with friends. You were genuinely excited, already planning the outfit, the snacks. But now, it's the day of, and you're lying in bed thinking, why did I agree to this? Desperately searching your brain for a believable excuse to cancel. If that sounds familiar, you might not be an introvert at all. You might be an omnivert, someone whose personality doesn't hover in the comfortable middle ground, but instead switches between full introvert mode and full extrovert mode, often without warning. And that switching? It's why you've spent so long feeling like you don't fit anywhere. So here are 7 signs you're an omnivert, not an introvert. Number 1. Your personality test results are different every time. You've taken a personality test 3 times, and somehow you've gotten 3 different results. One time, you were ENFP, the enthusiastic extrovert. The next time, INFP, the dreamy introvert. And you've started to wonder if there's something wrong with you, or if the test is just broken. Here's the truth. Neither. The test wasn't designed for omniverts. Introverts will consistently score as introverts, regardless of their mood or the week they take the test. Their results might shift slightly between categories, but that I at the front, it stays. For omniverts, though, your personality genuinely shifts depending on which mode you're in when you take the test. If you're feeling social and energized that day, you'll answer as an extrovert. If you're in a quiet, reflective phase, you'll answer as an introvert. Both answers are honest. You're just accessing different versions of yourself. This inconsistency isn't confusion, it's accuracy. You contain both. Number 2. You regret plans your alter ego made. This one cuts deep, doesn't it? You made plans when you were feeling outgoing. Maybe you volunteered to organize a team event, or you enthusiastically said yes when friends invited you to a concert. At that moment, you genuinely wanted to do it. You felt excited. You meant it. But now, it's 2 days before the event, and you can't imagine anything worse than actually going. The thought of being around people, making small talk, putting on a social face, it feels impossible. And you're stuck with this horrible guilt because you know you committed, but the person who made that commitment doesn't exist right now. Here's where omniverts differ from introverts. An introvert knows they'll need recovery time after socializing. They make plans, understanding there's a cost. They might not love it, but they can predict how they'll feel. For you, the version of you that made those plans genuinely, truly wanted to make them. But that person has left the building, and you have no idea when they'll be back. Psychologists describe omniverts as people who can be the life of the party one day and completely withdrawn the next. You're not being flaky. You're being responsive to an internal switch you don't control. Number 3. People literally call you 2 different people. Your coworkers have seen you confidently lead meetings, cracking jokes, engaging everyone in the room. Then they invite you to happy hour, and you're quiet, barely making eye contact, giving one-word answers. They've asked, "Are you okay? You seem so different." Your college friends know you as the person who organized every party, stayed out until 3 a.m., thrived in chaos. But when you visit home and your family sees you, they describe you as calm, reserved, someone who needs a lot of alone time. When these worlds collide, when a work friend meets a college friend, everyone's confused about which version is really you. The answer? Both. Introverts can be social, yes, but they're consistently themselves across contexts. They might push themselves to be more outgoing at work, but friends and family recognize the same core person. For omniverts, the personality shift is so dramatic that people genuinely question if they know you at all. You're not faking it in either context. You're showing 2 equally authentic sides of a personality type most people don't understand. Number 4. You maintain separate friend groups for separate modes. You have your party friends, the ones you call when your social battery is full and you want to go out, be loud, stay up late. And you have your chill friends, the ones you text when you need low-key connection, a quiet coffee hangout, maybe just sitting together without talking much. Here's the telling part. These friend groups never overlap. They don't even know each other exist. And if they ever met, they'd probably be confused, because they know completely different versions of you. An introvert typically has one consistent friend group that understands their need for depth over breadth, quality time over quantity. They might have casual acquaintances too, but their core people see the same version of them. Omniverts, though, need different people for different modes, because no single friend group can serve both versions of you. Your extrovert self finds your quiet friends boring. Your introvert self finds your party friends exhausting. Neither judgment is wrong, they're just incompatible needs showing up at different times. Number 5. Your social battery crashes without warning. You're at a party, fully engaged, having the absolute best time. You're talking to everyone, laughing, feeling energized by the crowd. Then suddenly, like someone flipped a light switch, you can't do it anymore. You can't form sentences. You can't make eye contact. The thought of one more conversation makes you want to crawl out of your skin. You need to leave right now. This is where omniverts are fundamentally different from introverts, and it comes down to brain chemistry. Introverts operate on what researchers call a social battery system. They can feel their energy draining gradually, and usually estimate how much time they have left. I've got about 2 more hours, then I'll need to recharge. It's predictable. For omniverts, your brain is running on 2 completely different energy systems, and which one is active depends on your mode. In extrovert mode, dopamine is running the show. That's the go-get-it chemical that makes external stimulation feel rewarding. You're literally being fueled by the social interaction. But when your brain switches into introvert mode, that same dopamine stimulation becomes overwhelming. You don't wind down, you crash. The light doesn't dim, it shuts off. Number 6. Your social needs are completely unpredictable, even to you. Monday, you're desperately lonely. You're texting everyone, craving connection, feeling like you'll lose your mind if you spend one more night alone. You make plans for the week, coffee on Wednesday, dinner on Friday, maybe a weekend trip. By Wednesday, you're ignoring every text. The thought of seeing anyone feels like a burden. You want complete isolation. You cancel on Friday. You definitely cancel the weekend trip. And nothing external changed. No fight, no bad news, no exhausting week at work. Your internal switch just flipped. Introverts have predictable patterns. After a busy work week with lots of meetings, they know they'll need a quiet weekend. After hosting a party, they know they'll need 2 days of solitude. They can plan around their needs because those needs are consistent. Your needs aren't consistent because your energy source itself changes. Some days, people energize you. Some days, the same people drain you. It's not about them. It's about which operating system your brain decided to run today. And here's the frustrating part. You often can't predict it even for yourself. Number 7. You've been called fake for being different in different settings. This one stings the most, doesn't it? Your work colleagues know you as quiet and reserved. Your college friends, though? They know you as the wild one, the party organizer, the person who made every night an adventure. When these worlds collide, maybe a college friend visits you at work, or a coworker somehow ends up at the same event as your old crew, everyone's confused. Your work friends think you're putting on an act with your college friends. Your college friends think you're suppressing yourself at work. Both groups wonder who the real you is. And honestly, you've wondered the same thing. The accusation of being fake is painful, because you know you're not performing. Both versions felt completely genuine in the moment. You weren't code switching strategically or putting on a mask for different audiences. You were genuinely quiet at work because that's who you were in that mode. You were genuinely outgoing with your college friends because that's who you were in that mode. Introverts might adjust their behavior slightly depending on context, being a bit more professional at work, more relaxed with close friends, but the core personality remains recognizable. For omniverts, the shifts are so dramatic that people question your authenticity. You're not being fake, you're being a personality type that most people don't have the language to understand. Interesting insight. Why the social battery metaphor completely fails you. We've all heard the social battery explanation. Introverts drain from socializing and recharge with solitude. Extroverts do the opposite. It's clean, it's simple, it makes sense, but it assumes you have one consistent battery. You don't. You have two completely different charging systems that swap without warning. In extrovert mode, you're like a solar panel. You gain energy from socializing, from being around people, from external stimulation. The party charges you up. In introvert mode, you're like a device that needs to be plugged in overnight. You need solitude, stillness, internal processing to recharge. The same party drains you completely. After an extended extrovert phase, where you've been social for days, you might need deep, isolated recovery for just as long. During an introvert phase, even a simple text message can feel like running a marathon. You're not being inconsistent, you're being responsive to whichever system your brain decided to activate, and that decision isn't always in your conscious control. If you've made it this far and multiple signs resonated deeply, you're probably an omnivert. And here's what you need to understand. You're not broken. You're not fake. You're not moody, unreliable, or confused about who you are. You're someone with a personality type that exists at both ends of the spectrum instead of the comfortable middle. In a world that desperately wants people to be consistent, you are gloriously, authentically, sometimes inconveniently variable. And that's exactly who you're supposed to be. So, do any of these signs sound like you? Have you spent years thinking you were just a confusing introvert, only to realize you might be an omnivert? Understanding this about yourself doesn't fix the challenges. You'll still experience the switches, the crashes, the identity confusion that comes with feeling like two people. But at least now you have a name for it. You have an explanation for why the standard personality categories never quite fit. And both versions of you? They're real, they're valid, and they both deserve to exist without apology. Let us know in the comments, which sign hit hardest for you? And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who might finally understand why they feel like two different people. Thanks for watching. Take care of your energy out there.